Are you feeling umekosewa na mtu yoyote? Referee baby, don't worry. You're not alone. We're here. As we promised you, each and every Monday morning from 8 a.m., we're here to discuss the happenings around the sporting world. And of course, I don't do this alone. I'm with this Manchester United fan.
Well, I had a lovely weekend. It was almost crowned going by a match that was being played late last night. But unfortunately, it didn't happen the way I predicted.
You had predicted a City win.
Yep.
Flo, how was the weekend? How was the week since Monday?
It's been amazing. A lot of football action from CAF Confederations Cup to CAF Champions League, the big one yesterday. All of you guys were wrong. But
I wasn't wrong. Forces of nature, not nature, forces of man.
Yeah, but we are glad to be back. We are glad to be back this morning on your favorite TV station, that is TV47.
All right. Most of your predictions did come true about the Kenyan game. Arocho, before we get to that, tuanzie hapa. From what you saw yesterday and the way Arsenal played, do you still believe Arsenal is miles away from challenging City for the trophy now?
In fact, 2 minutes before that match ended, I'd already put a post and said that Arsenal have moved to 80%. They're having 80% chances of challenging the title. But the 2 minutes that Arsenal slipped convinced me that Arsenal are still not ready to challenge the English Premier League. Character was not seen. I didn't see discipline. I didn't see that mental strength. I didn't see in Arsenal. In football, and that's why football is being played 90 minutes. You have to go through all the 90 minutes with your mind as disciplined as you started. For me, that red card was unwarranted for. There was no reason why Trossard went for that challenge, the way he went for that challenge. There's no reason why he kicked the ball after the whistle. So for me, I think that there's still, that maturity is still not there within that team. And it was evident in that action where Trossard picked his red card, and it was evident towards the fact that Arsenal conceded a goal in the last second. So I believe that Arsenal still has some time to learn how to challenge the English Premier League.
Flo, I do hope you have a different opinion. But before that, let us get to the question of the day. Wale mko nyumbani, please get interactive with us. We are asking you, after match day 5, which team do you think will win the 2024-25 English Premier League after match day 5? Do you still think City will take it? Will Arsenal challenge them? Aston Villa, Liverpool, Chelsea maybe, Manchester United? Let us know. Unafikiria aje? Flo, with what Arocho is saying, that he did not see maturity and character from Arsenal, is this the case?
For me, I saw something totally different. So kidogo will disagree with Arocho. Playing 56 minutes.
Useme kidogo.
Yes.
Disagree na yeye sana.
Playing for 56 minutes, 10 men.
Yes.
That was a plus. So I feel like Arsenal did well to hold. They were playing a defending champion. They held on for 56 minutes. And this is a defending champion. They were actually very close to being the first team to win an away match at Etihad. I think...
it's almost 2 years.
Yes. The last time it happened, it was Brentford in November of 2022.
Yes.
So with how they played, given all the circumstances, I know in terms of... that indiscipline, a bit I will agree with Arocho. I think it's a talking point we'll have to talk about later on. You can't have your players being shown red card because of the same behavior, but them playing with less, with a numerical disadvantage for that long and playing against a defending champion and coming. And actually, that is why I think they celebrated. You'd think they collected all the 3 points. I think they did very well. And in my opinion, if they had all their men intact, they would have maybe carried the day.
Not having all their men, just having the referee balanced.
Yeah.
Arsenal would have won that game fair and square. This is what I'm talking about, guys. If you watched Arsenal against Man City last season, it was Kovacic, yeah? Kovacic had 2 tackles, one on Declan Rice, one on Martin Odegaard, both which were straight red cards. But this same referee was reffing that game. He did not take action. Then after the game, what explanation was Arsenal given? That the referee did not want to interfere with a game that could be a title decider, potentially be a title decider. So he let the game roll. Okay? Yesterday, Trossard made a tackle, which is, football is a physical match. And if it's anything, it's a foul. It's not a card, okay? Because of course I can foul you. That's why it is it is in the rules of the game that if I foul you, you get a foul. If I do something, you get a foul. But it's not an automatic card, all right? Now I'm in motion. You already know that you carded me. I have a yellow card. Yes. This is potentially a title decider. You know that you've already carded me. You blew your whistle while I was in motion. I kicked the ball. It wasn't that the ball was rolling and then I just decided to delay the start of the game. I kick it. No, I'm in motion. The City player is coming towards me. I am going towards the ball. It's only human nature that I will finish off with my challenge for the ball. You know, once you know that, you are the referee. You have power to decide. Earlier on, Doku had kicked the ball, delaying an Arsenal start. I hope you saw it. Doku had done the same thing, but he wasn't carded. But when it is an Arsenal player, they did that to Declan Rice, and now they see an opportunity where Arsenal appears to be nominating, because in the build-up towards that red card, Arsenal had, after City had scored their goal, Arsenal took control of the game for the entire first half. Arsenal took control of that game. And as a referee, you decide, you know what, I am going to change the outcome of this game. And you take a player out. As a referee, common sense dictates that you let the game roll.
I like your explanation, but I'm looking at it from two fronts. One, for me, it was a straight yellow card. That action, the fact that he went for the ball slightly late and hit an opponent, for me, is a yellow card. The other reason why he ought to have been given a yellow card is the fact that he kicked the ball after the whistle. So basically, there are two reasons why the referee could have given that yellow card. But all said and done, I'd like to give Arsenal some 20 or 30% of kudos, because as she said, 56 minutes, they held on to the game without the 11 players on the pitch. But that is football. You know, football, and that's the beauty of the game. The beauty of football is that it is not that definite. As a coach, you must get into a game, and there's nothing definite. You are going into the game, things will change, you will get red cards, you'll get yellow cards, and that's what describes a champion. You see last season when City was playing, they were having a lot of issues. Were they getting red carded? No. Like they were picking injuries, they were picking cards. And I think that's why Pep brought back Gundogan. He realized that this is going to be a very tough season. I'm sure I'm going to lose Kevin De Bruyne as we go along. I'm going to lose Kovacic as we go along. So you need second option or even the third option as the game goes on. The reason why I'm describing Arsenal as not title contenders is simply because they could not hold on to that 56 minutes. They could not hold on to that 56 minutes. And Arteta needs to do something to that team. He needs to tell his players that we are the target. This season, Man City is not the target, because for Man City, it's a norm for them to win the league. Arsenal is the target this season. So they should know that things are not going to be easy. And as you're saying at the referee, guys, the moment Arsenal will stop concentrating on the referee, then they'll be title contenders. But
we are title contenders.
Not with that attitude.
And from yesterday's game, everyone saw that Arsenal is the best team in the league right now.
How?
City were celebrating a draw at the Etihad Stadium against 10 men. City celebrated that draw.
No, they were not celebrating the draw.
They celebrated
They were celebrating
not
the goal. No, wait.
No. After the game, City was celebrating.
No, they were celebrating.
Footage.
Yes.
Please show us.
Yes.
City was celebrating a draw at the Etihad against 10 men.
You didn't see.
You know?
In fact,
Guardiola was jumping up and down.
Florence, you've just said it. City have not lost on that pitch for how many years?
Almost 2 years.
2 years.
So they don't have any reason to celebrate when they win on that pitch. That
When they don't lose on that pitch
wait,
against a 10-man Arsenal.
Wait. That celebration was for that goal. The resilience.
It was for not losing.
No, the goal.
If you listen to the build-up to this game, I remember I told you this last week that Rodri said last time Arsenal went to the Etihad, did not go to play football. Arsenal went there to defend, and that is when they realized Arsenal is not ready to challenge them. Why? Because if Arsenal was comfortable with a draw at the Etihad, it meant they were not ready to go for the jugular. But yesterday was a different case. Arsenal went and Arsenal wanted to play football. And in the first half, we saw an open game. But the second half, we did not see a game because it was one-sided, because the referee decided to affect the outcome of that game.
But at the end of the day...
And that is the problem I have with English referees, where they want to make the ball about
Cry
them.
babies.
No, we are not complaining. We took a point from Etihad. We are not complaining.
Wait.
Saying,
no.
This is what we're saying.
Florence, help us here.
Yes.
For the last 5 or so minutes,
Yes.
what has Shatter been doing?
Explaining.
No, wait.
And you're very angry with the referee.
I've been telling him that Arsenal is a title contender.
It's a question against you. Let
Yes.
Florence answer. Florence, how do you describe Shatter?
I think you're very disgruntled, especially with the refereeing.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm
And
disgruntled. I'm not complaining.
Wait.
but let me, in terms of refereeing, we've seen bad refereeing, worse than that. But what do the rules
It's always
say?
against Arsenal, though.
What does
It's
the
a
rule
fact.
say about...
Since the Wenger era.
Yeah, what does the rule say in terms of what happened on the pitch during Rice time? And there's another player who last
Yes,
weekend
Rice.
who almost did the same mistake.
Saliba.
Saliba, yes. And this would have been the third player from the same team. And I think that is why Arocha was talking about indiscipline. But what do rules say? But have they been applying to other clubs? I think that is where the contention would be. Do we have examples of a team and a player who have done the same mistake and the rules have not applied?
Yes,
If that has been the
we
case,
have a lot. In the same game.
is it kicking the ball after the whistle?
Yes.
According to you, what was the infringement that caused that yellow card?
In the first instance,
The kicking of the ball.
yes, they always
That's
kick
a waste.
the ball
Yes.
even after the whistle.
Yes.
That is one.
And that is the...
No, there's nothing like one. That is
There
that
are
is
two
the official
offenses there.
statement. Oh, no, wait, excuse me, Arocho. It's not every foul that is a card in football.
No, it depends on the referee.
Okay,
And the other
what
time,
listen,
actually, it was
what
the
did the
delay
Premier
that-
League say?
that it
Look,
causes.
guys, let's go step by step.
Yes.
To Elewane. There was a challenge. 2 players went
Was it
for
a late
aerial
challenge?
ball. No, they both went. It's not like you had the ball, then I tackled you later.
It was a late challenge.
Arocho, wait. We
other
have
time
a
it was
football here.
actually the
Can,
delay.
can we demonstrate, guys?
Oh, who touched the ball first?
No, can we demonstrate?
No,
Look,
wait.
this is an aerial ball. It's
Sawa.
here, it's
Who
in the
touched
air.
it?
You go for it,
Who
I go
touched
for
it
it.
first?
Please, Silva went for the ball.
Touched it first.
Yeah, not first, because Trossard did not touch it.
Thank you.
So Silva won the ball. All right?
Silva won the
But-
ball.
Yes, but both of them had gone for the ball. Silva was not in possession of the ball when he got tackled. The ball was in the air.
Boy.
It was a 50-50
You people
ball
need
for
to change
anyone.
your attitude.
And that one, listen, and that one was not a card.
You know,
that was
Florence,
a foul.
I have a
According
problem
to the
with
Premier
this
League.
issue. Look at the way Arteta reacted.
Yes.
You know, he's the leader.
Yes.
Arteta was so disgruntled. He felt like the world was over. Surely, there must be somebody. I'll understand fans like Shatter and the rest pulling scenes there and having tantrums. But the coach needs to hold.
Yeah.
But he did.
No.
You cannot take it from Arteta.
He's
In
been
fact, if
complaining
there's
since
anything Arteta has done
time.
this season is to show maturity. Arteta alikuwa the previous 2 seasons, remember when we went to Liverpool and he started a brawl with Klopp and we got a drubbing for it. This time round, Arteta is emotional but in a mature way. Yesterday, sacrificing Bukayo Saka. All right? After that red card.
We're not talking
After
about.
that
I'm
card,
talking
I'm
about
telling
his
you.
immediate reaction.
His immediate reaction, he did not even react. I think he pulled his hoodie over his face. He did not go shouting at anything.
After what he said
Yes.
after the match, I think also that is where the problem comes in.
But
and
in
that is
fact,
where maybe the
but
complaint
still,
comes in.
after what he said,
Yeah.
after in his press conference, it was very mature. He said, "I came here to play a different game. I believe the Premier League deserved a better game than this today. But in the second half, we could not implement that. All right? Obviously because of the red card, which is true. That referee denied the world a very beautiful game. That is what he did. He denied the world a very beautiful
What is
game.
the difference between what happened yesterday and what happened during when Rice was it because of the delay? And how would you differentiate the two? The first time he kicked the ball, he caused a lot of delays. The ball was supposed to be for their opponents.
Yes.
Between that and what happened yesterday, where does the bone of contention, according to your understanding, come in?
It is when the referees and the PGMOL decided to apply the law selectively. You know, when Doku kicks the ball, it's fine. I was giving him direction where to place the ball. When Trossard kicks the ball while in motion, it's a bookable offense. You know, same way when Joao Pedro does it for Brighton, it's okay. But when Declan Rice does it, it's a bookable offense. He has no choice.
Yeah.
You
For
know?
me,
that is my bone of contention. The law is being applied selectively.
For me, Shatta and any other Arsenal fan, that was a very silly card. He needs, Trossard needs to know that the team needs him.
And the referees are against it. Add that one.
Either way you put it.
Yes.
But for me, I think the game plan, Arsenal's game plan was destroyed. And it showed very well that they're still not ready for contention. But if you ask me, I think the game that really, another game that had issues, there we are. There are reactions.
Yes.
Arocho na kutetea all opponents against Arsenal. But surely, it was quite evident. Watching live from Asia City, Qatar, Shatta, Arocho na Florence. No, not Lawrence, Florence. Na wagotea hapo studio. Please note that Pep will still dominate the season. As long as Pep Guardiola is in EPL, Arsenal will not win the EPL. That is not Arocho. Thank you very much.
That is
nonsense. Kwani Manchester United is not participating. Talk of your team. No, we are just starting with the most recent.
Roberto Carlos, niko na wewe hapo. Hiyo free kick yako nimeiona. Hiyo assist nimeiona. I will pick it.
No, but Shatta, well, he wants us to discuss about United.
Yes.
For me, I said it, and I'm repeating it here. Manchester United is not going to win the English Premier League. They're not going to contend. Manchester United is just a pretender this season.
Yes.
Not only this season.
No. Okay, at least what I know is this season. Because I've seen now...
What makes you think it won't be next season or the season after?
Yeah, that might happen. It will all depend on the way they'll start the season. I normally describe a season by the first 10 matches.
Yes.
For me, that will indicate, will show where the compass will eventually land on.
Why do you think Manchester United is a pretender?
But picking a draw with the likes of...
But you went and beat Barnsley 7-0 and we all thought sasa buko sawa, you were ready. Mlituambia season imeanza.
Mtu yote anasema tuko sawa doesn't know the real Manchester United.
Yeah.
If at this moment, mtu akasema the real Manchester United asimame, hakuna atasimama. There is no Manchester United. Look at the way they played against, was it Crystal Palace?
Yes.
There is no purpose. The Manchester United I know is a team full of purpose. There was no purpose. And even when the game ends, you can see the players are just walking away, not really showing. You know, there are days when Manchester United picked a draw, regardless of the opponent. You could see players, the body language. But these days, they are walking away. Yani is like ni kawaida.
Yeah.
There were some strange happenings in that lineup when the game started. For example, benching Rashford. We all thought he would start. But when Ten Hag was asked if there was an issue or an injury, it's a disciplinary issue, he said, no, it's just rotating the squad. So the question that I have is, at what point do you say you're rotating a squad, and at what point do you maintain a first 11? Rashford has been awful before, but in the last 2-3 games, we've seen some sparks of Rashford, the confidence coming back. But once a player started picking momentum, is it advisable to bench that player immediately when the momentum is peaking? Do you think Ten Hag missed there?
I think, first of all, Manchester United is in its wilderness season. That is what I want to believe currently, because we've seen Manchester United being Manchester United. That spirit is no longer there. But in terms of squad rotation, I think the manager knows better, because other than looking at how a player has been playing, there are other things that a manager will know. Maybe perhaps the fans or people like us will not know. Maybe the mental fortitude. I remember Teng... alikuwa anatetea sana Rashford,
Yes.
but it was at a time when there was a lot of negativity surrounding the player, so that player might not perform very well. So there are other off the field maybe issues that would actually affect a team, and that rotation might be very well. We also saw, we will talk about it maybe in a local setup where maybe players are not, you know them as a good player, but at the end of the day, there are other off the pitch issues that could cause a manager to keep on rotating the team. That's why there's need to be a lot of gelling. What happens in the dressing room, in the training is very key in determining who is going to play. And for me, I feel like Manchester United will still be shaky.
Arocho, there is one simple concept of football that we have, and it is you don't sub a winning team, you know? So that team seemed to be, after the Southampton game, you could feel now this is a team. What do you think Ten Hag is doing by trying to rotate the squad?
I've said it oftenly. I think it's not only on this forum, but many other forums, that Ten Hag doesn't know what he's doing. You know, you bring Ten Hag, a coach who was handling Ajax. You see?
Yeah.
This is my description. A coach who was handling Ajax. Now, you want him to handle Manchester United. It will never work. It will never work because even his mindset.
Yeah.
You're saying it quite well. Rashford has been picking. You cannot put on bench a player who's been picking. You know, everybody knows the character and the quality of Rashford.
Yeah.
He had a dip. He went off. He didn't even participate in Euro.
Yeah.
Now, the season has begun. He's started scoring goals. The best you can do is to encourage him more so that he can perform. Look at what he does. The coach comes, and then when he's asked, he's coming up with very flimsy excuses, like, I'm rotating the squad. Personally, I think that Ten Hag kwa lugha ya mtaa mimi naona ana undani sana. Mtu wa ma feelings,
Yeah.
you know? Coaches who
Too
when labda umemkosea kidogo anai-translate kwa pitch.
We saw that with Sancho.
Yes, you saw exactly what happened with Sancho.
Yes.
Baki kafika time, do apology, nini. And then, you know, Sancho asked, why should I apologize? Because Sancho was wondering, what wrong did I do? So mimi vile namwona huyu coach ni mtu ana undani. When there are issues, he'll pick issues with you. Kitu ambayo labda is not really connected to the pitch. And when you're handling such a big team like Manchester United, first of all, you must know that you have to deal with egos.
Yeah.
Na hizo egos haizi control. This is not the best coach for United. I said it when United won the FA Cup last season. I said that this coach should go home.
Yeah.
But when Manchester won the FA Cup, for me it was a curse for Manchester United. It was a curse because ilifunga watu macho. Wadosi wakadhani, now we have a good coach. That hakuna. Man City is just that they didn't put their force on their pedal that day.
Yes.
And that's why United won. Now this is a team that is not going to win anything. Now huyu coach, take my word, first leg, atakuwa shakatwa.
What about there was an introduction of Ruud van Nistelrooy as his assistant coach. We expect him he was a lethal striker. We expect to see the boys scoring from all cannons, you know, but Joshua Zirkzee is here.
But when there's no supply, when there's no consistency as far as in terms of
how about Bruno?
Playing.
I like when teams lose as a team and win as a team. But at some point, it is okay to pick people that you think might have affected the play. For example, if you look at Bruno Fernandes' stats right now, he has 17 shots on target, no goal. You know, is it that he is stifling supply to the attackers? Because is he trying to be the main man as the captain and score the goals, or should he release the ball more to the attackers?
Before I even talk about that, I want to say every time a coach uses emotions, especially against players, it it ends badly for the coach. We've seen that happen even to someone like Jose Mourinho there before, where the dressing room players watakungeuka, and it becomes very bad. But also, let's talk about philosophies. Manchester United as a team, they have their own philosophy, and I think that is what used to win them. A coach also has their own philosophies, and you're bringing players who have also played for different coaches and clubs that also have different philosophies. So it's very important not only to manage the ego, it's important to understand how a coach's philosophy and the philosophy of the club is going to merge. Are you going to put yours on the side and adapt the one for the club? If the philosophy that was there was actually working, what's the point of changing things? So I want to agree on so many things in that aspect, but I think the philosophy that worked for Manchester United when they were winning has not been replicated, and that is why we are not seeing what we used to see. We are not happy as Manchester United.
All right. I will tell you for free. The philosophy that worked for Manchester United when they were winning was called Ferguson and Fergie time and intimidating referees. But right now I cannot intimidate those referees. That is what is it to you. Acha tusome feedback kidogo from guys from home. Then turudi nyumbani. We want to talk about our girls wako Spain wakipiga mazoezi. Na pia tuangalie game ya Kenya. Kuna vitu zilifanyika jana zenye hazikufurahisha sana, si ndio? Alright, kuna jamaa anaitwa Marcos KI ama Marcos Key, basema this round farasi ni wanne. Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool and Chelsea. Guys, we need to give Chelsea a shout. Do we start considering Chelsea as a title contender? Because from the way they have been playing, you know, Chelsea is that team that is flying under the radar. They're just here with you guys. Nobody's talking about them because you think, they're not in the Champions League. But they're here and they're consistent. And they're winning convincingly. Do we now start saying that they are in the title contention? Am it's too early?
No, it's not too early. For me, Arocho said he will determine that after like 10 matches. For me, I believe the earlier, the better. If you don't struggle the first half of the season, I think if you finish well the first half of the season, chances of you being a title contender are always good. For Arsenal, where they are right now, I want to say they are title contenders.
Amazing. Elian Kurgat, this is a Manchester United fan. Arocho is very correct. I'm a Manchester United fan, and I know Manchester United this season, we are all joyriding the season under this man so-called Ten Hag. Regan Ochieng, Arocho, please accept the fact that as a coach, you can't sit and not be furious when you see a referee doing such decisions. Even Pep kicked the chair. Why can't you talk about it? Kelvin Muea, Shatter. How can you say Arsenal was coming there to play a different game, then wanacheza game mbaya? He deserved that red card. The game mbaya iko wapi? Eric Githinji, Crystal Palace is good in defending. Remember, we managed 6 shots on target. It was a bad day in the office because we tried. Wait, sasa imeenda wapi? Ni mingi coming in thick and fast. In office because we tried our best. The problem with Ten Hag, he doesn't win the important matches like Brighton and Liverpool. Mwadhi Mark, Fred Arocho is a master of shifting goalposts. Why does he pretend not to notice that from last season, Arsenal is no longer being bullied by Man City? Before then, Arocho used to say Arsenal doesn't have the mettle to win the league because they had been losing to the likes of Man City and Liverpool, home and away. But right now, hizo team hazipigi Arsenal. Shata, achana na feelings. All cards were very okay. Arsenal players are indisciplined. They don't learn from their mistakes. All right, Sebastian Dodoma, never change a winning team. He sells players, but they're performing to other teams. Ten Hag ajui analofanya. Aya. Shata, ambia Arocho Arsenal sio Man U. Ni Gilbert Rotich kutoka Nyaru watching live. Okay, nimemwambia amesikia Arsenal sio Man U. Okay. Aya. Liverpool also, I think from ile kitu iliwafanyikia against Nottingham, they picked well. You see, that is the reaction you need. They went to the AC Milan game, got 3 points, came back, took 3 points from Bournemouth. Do you think hiyo complacency ilikuwa imetokea game ya Nottingham wame-recover?
Yes, and I think it's even positive to start uteleze kidogo, then you pick. And kudos to Chelsea. Chelsea are showing resilience. They are showing that kuteleza sio kuanguka. They've picked so well, and you can see the energy coming back to Chelsea. Going back to Liverpool, yes. And for me, it describes a team. When you go down, how you pick yourself up. Because in soccer, you have, within the 90 minutes, lazima utaanguka. You must have take a fall.
Yeah.
But it's how you wake up from your fall. And that's why I'm so critical on Manchester United, because the way they pick up from a fall, it just scares you if you're a Manchester United fan or a sympathizer like me. I sympathize with United, but unfortunately, things are not well. But the week was a bit, for me, it was a bit fluid. I don't want to be hard on Arsenal, because look at the fact that Arsenal has played top teams so far. Arsenal has played the contender.
Yes.
And playing a contender within the first 5 matches of the season is no mean feat. Good job they are doing.
Yes.
But for Arsenal to be a king, you must be ready to kill a king.
Yeah.
Jana Arsenal angekill Man City and then the likes of sisi wale tunaona labda Arsenal are not contenders. Tukianza kuona ala, kumbe this Arsenal, you see, they are showing signs of, and in fact, beating Man City at home could have made a very big statement. In fact, the next opponent for Arsenal, wangekuja wakiwa a bit cautious. So for me, I'm just throwing it to them. Guys, you have to have that mental strength to survive 90 minutes, regardless of what happens with the referee, regardless of how many are you on the pitch, you have to survive, because that's why it's called soccer and it's a man's game.
All right, let us talk about our junior starlets before tukae hapa na hii Arsenal yangu I can talk hadi kesho, because atu agree. We also, they left, walienda Spain for the preparations of the World Cup under 17. What do you think are our chances?
Well, there was a time a few years back we said that if any football team was to go to the World Cup, it would have been our girls, and that already happened. Yes. I feel like even though a lot of people don't talk about women football, our girls always do very well.
Yes.
And it's all about preparation. If you start taking the young girls to places like Spain, exposure is very important. So I haven't actually watched them play because they're young, they're 17. But I know the team that selected the girls, the people who have made this happen in terms of having the right players, I know they've done a good job. So the thing is, expose these girls to the right environment for playing football. I like the fact that it's under 17 to begin with. But even after this, maybe we'll talk that in other days, maybe in future. For me, I feel like they have an opportunity first for exposure. They'll get quality exposure out there. They will play in a world stage with people of their age. And I think their chances are high. I will not say that I want them to either win, but let's see how far they will go. But I know in terms of exposure, it's going to gauge us and show us where we actually are. And maybe we can build up from there. But for starters, under 17, it's good. I wish we would have something lower than that so that we have a feeder team. You know, this girl is good. They played in maybe primary school, in high school. They're still in high school, but maybe if there is an under 15 there and under 17 is a build-up or a collection from under 15, the team would have gelled better. They would have known each other, and the team would know who to play where. It would be good. But for me, let's first see. It's a good place in terms of exposure, and it's for the future. They're the future under 21, so it's a good place to start from.
Yeah, Arocho, sometimes it's good to go to such tournaments as an underdog, because nobody pays attention until they see you on the pitch. And now it's too late for them to try and maneuver or change their style of play. What do you think?
Well, I'll be very blunt. We don't have any chance. We are playing against Mexico, against England. These are established sides. The age might not be that age that you can say they're quite refined. I'm talking about our opponents.
Yes, yes.
But the infrastructure behind their qualification, the Mexicans or even the English national team, we are just going to make a statement. We are going to introduce ourselves into the world stage.
Yes.
I'm not expecting much. I'm just expecting us to at least pick a win. That will give us an edge over any other team around our region.
Yes.
But I'd like to also to dwell on this issue that came up. Two things very fast. One, I'll thank the president, hosting them at State House, serving them tea. For me, that is good. You're just trying to give them that confidence. These are players who are still in secondary school, meeting the president, being served tea by the president. That was excellent. That was nice. And whoever advised the president to do that, for me, gave him a very good image. Clara Maris, the lady who was dropped in the team. You know, I wonder why we are sensational.
But that's who we are.
No.
That's who we are as Kenyans.
You know,
What's the reason?
This is the team.
Yes.
Guys, we have a coach called Cheche. Let her do her job.
Yes.
I think it was early last week. It was all over the social media. There's a player who has really helped
First,
the
it was
team.
two players.
Yes, who has helped the team and they have been dropped. I went through the list, the 5 matches we played. That young lady did not play, with all due respect to her. You know, football, like any other thing in life, is very unfair.
Yeah.
There must be that sad moment where we're being dropped. I don't want to talk about that because perhaps it was not done the right way. But why do you go out and say that a player who has helped the team was dropped? You need to do your research. This player had not played in any of our qualifiers. Yes, she was in Ethiopia, she was in Burundi for our matches, but she never played. Rashford played in the Euro qualifiers and even scored goals. Rashford did not play in the Euro finals. Guys, and I'm so disappointed in many people. I'm not going to mention them on this show, but I'm so disappointed. When somebody talks to you and gives you information, you need to go down and investigate. I did my investigations. I went to the Stars social media platform. I picked all the lineups that the team played. She was not there. You know, 16 players normally change and are part of the team in any given match. 2 don't feature. They go and sit in the stands with fans. So in the 2 occasions that she traveled, she was sitting with the fans. I'm not looking down.
Which is the functionality.
Yes,
of the
I'm not
also.
looking down upon her. But I don't want us to see like we dropped a player and then, you know, issues started coming in. Oh, kuna favoritism, kuna tribalism, kuna nini. You know?
A tribalism now iko kwa ya wanaume, hiyo tusidanganyane.
No, either way, shatter. But we need, even if we're talking about tribalism, we should have our facts. This player scored these goals. This player had these assists. Why is she not in the team? But this is a player who never featured.
Can you say the coach knows better?
Yeah, definitely the coach knows better. But I think the problem came after the girls qualified. There was a promise that was made by the former.
By who?
When these girls were in Bomas, they were promised that water travel.
Tata.
And
So it's,
that's where
these are interests away from the game itself. Yes.
Okay, it is true. You can even be the most instrumental player of a team, but still get dropped towards after the qualifier and the tournament itself. Something can happen in between. You can pick an injury. You can go out of form. You know, there's something called a provisional squad. People go to camp, and then before they travel, some people are dropped. It is part of the game. You know, but I think the problem, you know, first of all, as you say, Cheche is the coach, we give her time. She also needs to understand where she's operating at. She's operating in a Kenya that is very sensational, a Kenya that is very political. If there is anything that Kenyans love is politics.
But let me ask you.
Politics of the game.
And interest and politics are present.
And the game itself is just political, you know. So once you are aware of that, you see the way you are saying Arsenal players should know the way they are chasing City and the referees are not fair. All right? Also, Cheche needs to understand, and the people that name the squad also, that our Kenya ni watu wanapenda siasa.
Yes.
Unaget? So, tukienemi squad yetu tumeinemi hivi, ni poa squad yetu iongelewe, tukiachia ma loophole. Sasa squad itaongelewa. Hizi loopholes zitaongelewa.
No, Shatta, I think labda you didn't get my point. I don't have a problem with Kenyans consuming or even talk about the lineup. Ni yao, and it's their duty as citizens to talk about their lineup. But when I'll call them authorities, peddle narratives that are not there, then I have a problem. For example, Arocho. I post something on social media. It's very sensitive. And more so when I'm talking about my national team. I ought to have gone and done my research. And when I'm talking, because many people follow what I say or listen to what I say, I need also to have done my due diligence. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about fans, talking about the team. But when I wake up and say that Florence was dropped and Florence was helped us qualify, and now to dispel what you're saying also, who promised them? The minister. The minister cannot promise anybody in any team.
That was a personal...
No.
But Arocho,
that was wrong.
Please, we do not operate in a vacuum here. That's why I've said, remember we're operating in Kenya. And this is how Kenya operates.
I know.
If these are children, first of all, the way you handle them, you see, by then let me tell you, I have no problem with anyone being dropped. Because as you've said, the coach knows the tactic they want to go deploy, the best player for it, you know? But my issue is the communication.
Wait.
The communication that comes should be very clear that you don't give room for this speculation.
You cannot stop the minister when he hosted the team to make any promise he wants to.
And once he makes that promise, then let him carry through.
Wait. Shut away. The minister Ababu, when he hosted these kids or these ladies when they won, yes, he might have said that. I don't have that clip. But even if he said, that cannot hold any water because the minister has no role, direct role in the team. Even the FKF president has no role.
What exactly did he promise?
What was 17-year-old, 16-year-old, 15-year-old?
Now we must.
The minister has no role in the FKF.
Yes, we must.
Because
you expect this child to, in fact, according to you, leave alone even the child.
You wanted.
A minister is promising me something. A cabinet secretary in the Republic of Kenya, in the docket of sports.
That's a very huge authority.
Do you think there's anything else that anyone in this federation that might tell me that makes sense?
Florence, let me ask Shatta this.
The federation then also protect its players.
So you are expecting, because the minister had said that the team is not going to be touched.
Yes.
Cheche achukue to the team the way it was, and now knowing very well that in the next 10 or so days, she'll be having 3 big matches. Injuries will come in, change of tactics will come in. Cheche went for the Eastern Central games that were played in, was it in Uganda? For the school games. And that's where she picked the new players. Most likely that's where she picked the new players because of the performance. But all said and done, I'd like to wish our ladies all the best. God willing, I will join them in, it's called where? God willing, I'll join them in the finals. I'm intending to travel. The reason why I have to travel, we have to support these ladies. We have to tell Kenyans what is happening with our team. But once again, good job. The president, aliwaserve chai. Now the team is now in Spain. I hope we are not just in Spain. I hope we are getting good friendlies.
I have a bite for them in Spain. So
sorry?
Let's play the bite. Okay, Spain.
Okay.
Sindio?
Spain kumekuwa vizuri sana, mazoezi tunaendelea vizuri, na hizi kwa friendly zenye zinakuja tunajitayarisha tuone venye World Cup tutacheza, na sisi tunaona mazoezi iko vizuri.
Tuna train vizuri, friendly yetu ya kwanza tutakuwa na Valencia, najua tutajituma, tutawin na kila kitu itakuwa poa. Hiyo ndio itadetermine ni tuenda kucheza World Cup na pia tutawin.
All right. Kuna a call? All right. Hello.
Hello.
Mambo?
Niko na birth of account.
Hayupo.
Hello.
Mambo?
Niko na birth of account hapa hivi.
Tunakusikia, endelea.
Endelea, tunakusikia.
Niko kwamba kama mtu habari wetu check out. Depending on number of account
Achana huyo. Acha watch tu shows sijamuelewa Kenya anasema. Abu umemuelewa?
Mimi sijamsikia hata.
Acha tuchukue feedback mbili basi kutoka Mtaa, alafu tuongelee Gor Mahia na Police FC. Vitu walionyeshwa huko Uarabuni. William Wafula wa Malwa asema sorry sound tuko tuned in. Arocho ache kukazia Arsenal we are going to win the league this season. Man you will never come in any way appear in top 4. Take this to the bank. Hiyo inakuaga yake nasemanga straight to the bank. Arsenal, Man City to the bank. Des Herrera generali shata, mimi nitasema hivi, ref ndio final kwa game. If at all ashapuliza kipenga, mbona upige ball na umesikia kipenga? For me Arsenal walijipeana after kulead 2-1, but good game Arsenal. First half nilifurahia. All right, Marvin Smogeni, Isanda, the kind of comments from Man United fans who have already given up on their team. Pep is not immortal. Stay alive to watch Arteta pip him to the title this season. I think you should pin that comment, guys. Pin it. Regan Ochieng. Shut up, please ask Arocho what he thinks about the 2 or 3 girls who almost missed the chance going to Spain. We have already discussed that, Regan. I hope you got your feedback on that. Sebastian Dodoma anasema Kogalo are playing for nothing. No money in Tanzania. In Tanzania, players are paid some 100 million. Kenya will take time. Alafu Mwadhi Mark wa Liverpool anasema you'll never walk alone. Aya, sasa let's talk vile ametaja Kogalo hapo. We saw the first leg hapa nyumbani, we didn't pick no point. We went over there, Zamalek ikapiga Polisi, Gor pia wakavurutiwa chini. Do we have, because you see, you are told you are only a failure if you don't pick notes. And you are told the class will be repeated until the lesson is learned. All right? Do you think there are lessons that we have learned from these 2 games?
Personally, I think, yes, we've learned. We must have learned something because we are playing top teams. And it also describes our league. Look at the fact that Gor Mahia have been so dominant in this league.
Yeah.
And yet when they are put in the continental stage, look at where they appear. About 7 or so years ago, Simba and Yanga were more or less in this quagmire. I call it a quagmire because I believe that it's just, for me at times, it's by design that our football is where it is. It's simply because we don't want to sell this game. We don't want to give this game more value. Look at the fact, the other day I was seeing at Thika Stadium.
Yes.
There's no dressing room.
Yes.
Players are changing outside. Players are having their halftime talk outside they just, you can just even see them from the stands. The point I'm trying to say is, if we want to reach these levels, we must do what these guys are doing. We must emulate what they are doing. These guys are investing, and football is about investment.
Yeah.
It's not about assembling 20 or so players and let them play. No, football is about investment. It's high time that Kenyans, we should start investing. And the biggest investor in this game should be the government of Kenya.
Sure.
It is not the federation. It is not these clubs. Yes, the federation have their role. The clubs also have a very big role for us to reach where these teams are. Me, I'm not surprised that we lost all the matches. In fact, I saw a Police side that could have done better.
Yeah.
Sure.
There's a goal that they conceded that they ought not to have conceded. But kudos to all the 2 teams. And I believe, I'm not hoping, I believe that they've learned something out of the Egyptian outing.
Flo, what lessons do you think we picked from these games?
As usual, we've been missing on something. First of all, it was Police maiden appearance. It would have been better if we've seen teams who have gone past this stage previously. And for Police, I think they would have been in a better position. But for me, we keep on missing. For example, on this particular time, they've missed on 58 million for preparing for the next round. And this is just for the next round. And when you have such amount of money, just to prepare for the next round of the competition, that is where exposure comes in. So that is one thing that we missed. But also we always talk about side shows when we don't progress. For example, game ya Gor Mahia, there is this, is it Onyango, who had a beef with the coach, and Hakwak was scored and all that stuff. So we need to stop doing those side shows. And also for preparation, as Arocho is saying, Gor Mahia and police are a representation of what is currently happening on our league. No one is going to perform on a bigger stage if at home things are not doing very well. I actually saw that a photo where Ingwe players were having their pep talk outside. It looked so bad. This league, it's become haina dignity. Where do you get courage to go play in an international or continental stage when that is the experience you're having at home? These are players who will not have confidence to face players who are playing in better pitches, and their leagues are run professionally. So I want to agree with Arocho on that one in particular. It's a reflection. And looking at the league in general, it has been Gor Mahia, Tusker. If Gor Mahia is not winning, Tusker is winning. So it's Gor Mahia, Tusker, and AFC Leopards. Pole mshimeji, msinipige mawe mkiniona. Hao wanakujanga kurembesha league kidogo. You know, when there is a big derby, Gor Mahia versus, that is what the media talks about most of the time. So it's Gor Mahia and Tusker and Ingwe's league, and the rest of us are just living in their world. So a lot of things need to change if Gor Mahia is our best and police or any other team qualifies for these continental events. They are a reflection of who we are, and it's not a good one.
That's very true. As for me, I think police did a better job than Gor Mahia, being their first time appearing in this competition. At least they went over there and got a goal. That is something to be proud of. And even if you look at the investments that Kenya Police is making at Upper Home, you see this is a team that is ready or readying itself for bigger things. I think their next step is winning the Kenyan Premier League. Once they do that, now you can say, okay, now the investment is paying. All right? Talking of the Kenyan Premier League, KCB seem to have taken an early lead. I think 7 points out of 3 games. Mara Sugar is here. Do you think they can withstand the pressure of the top tier league now, the league itself? Ama wameanza tu na mbwembwe now that Gor Mahia is coming back and the police are coming back now, we expect to see the league taking the normal shape we've seen it taking?
Well, first of all, I'd like to congratulate my team, KCB. We are top of the table, and I believe...
Still early days, though. It's still early days. You don't have bragging rights. Does not give you bragging rights. It's 3 games into the league.
Either way you look at it, we are top of the table.
You're top of and Gor Mahia has not played a game.
And it's not by default. It's by design. So expect more from the bank this season. And you've asked about Mara Sugar.
Mara, yeah.
For me, Mara is a replica of how Muranga performed last season. Muranga season was so hot in the first half of the season, and then they fizzled out towards the end. I'm looking at Muranga. They're just trying to pick their points, ready for to protect themselves from relegation. So Mara is for me, that's how I describe them. Kudos to Leopards. They picked a win. Leopards have not won against Bidco for some time now. And I'm seeing a Leopard that, if issues don't come in, is one of the teams that can spice up this league. Because when Leopards are on top and Gor Mahia are also on top, then you'll start seeing that kind of energy coming back into the game. So kudos to Chingwe. That was a good win. And I believe that when Gor Mahia comes back into the local league, they will pick from where they left. And when you see, once again I'm saying this, when you see Gor up and when you see Leopards up, then the league will start getting that, the juice will start getting back into the league. But let everybody be prepared for KCB. We are making a statement, and this is not just the KCB ile ya kawaida. We are coming for, so I'm saying this to Gor Mahia. We are coming for you.
Watu wataka kutishia na game 3.
No,
just 3 games
Gor Mahia,
into the
we
league.
are coming for you.
Listen, let's go on a short break. Tukirudi, we want to talk about what happened in the Ulinzi versus Shabana game. Keep it luck.
Hey there friends, welcome to Kids on the Block, where fun and imagination come alive. we dive into magical world filled with exciting adventures and awesome friends.
What position were you in?
I was number 2.
What position were you?
Number 1.
He decided to cross the bridge by his house and look for food on the other side.
We're going to do half cup of chocolate chips, and the other one, we're going to do half cup of the blueberries.
So, grab your imagination hats and get ready to explore with us. Join us every Saturday at 9 a.m. for new friends, amazing stories, and tons of laughter.
Join us as we explore the journeys of those who defy the odds and break barriers. We dive deep into the stories of triumph.
Sometimes when parenting a child with a special need or whatever disability, family life becomes a bit complicated and you may end up raising the child on your own.
Here, we inspire.
I have a farm which one we showcase with other dyslexic youths and autism, how to farm.
Motivate.
All right, before tumalizia Rocho, we had some beautiful and ugly scenes during the game. You see, we've known the Kenyan league to be a league with no goals, you know, but this season we're seeing a different league where teams are scoring goals. I don't know if it's because it's early days, watu hawajachoka bado, but now after that, something happened in the Ulinzi vs Shabana game, where we saw vandalism and hooliganism, things that we thought are things of behind, that we don't have pitches in Kenya, and the only one that appears to be somehow better kidogo, we go and vandalize it, you know? What is your take on that?
First and foremost, I'd like to talk to my Shabana family. I'm a very strong Shabana fan. I've traveled Shabana, even when they were in the lower leagues. Mm-hmm. For the Shabana fans who know, I've been traveling with that team. Guys, this is wrong. I am a Shabana fan once again, I'm saying that, but I'll not support this. This was wrong, irrespective of what happened, the referee or anybody missed his or her match on the pitch. There's no way fans can start uprooting seats, bringing chaos into a stadium. Guys, I cannot support this. I'm condemning this with the strongest term possible. Our league cannot grow with such ugly moments. There is no way somebody will put his money because of this. Yes, it happened. I don't know what really happened because I was not I didn't attend this match. But irrespective of what happened, guys, we cannot do this. Take an example. You Arsenal playing City yesterday. Shutterboy is an Arsenal fan. If in any case Shutterboy and the fans who are on that pitch could have done this, you know, it's unacceptable, guys. There is no way we can develop our game when hooliganism is still creeping its ugly face. Once again, watu wa Shabana, mumenikosea.
I want to agree with Arocho because you have to think about so many things when you want to engage in such activities. Number one, we want to make football sometimes a family affair. If you start uprooting things and throwing stones, how will I be comfortable to come and watch the match as a fan? That is number one. You will be denying that your team, the team that you're claiming, unawatetea, you will be denying them gate collection if zinalipisho, and that is revenue. That is number one. Number two, in terms of brand, no brand will want to be associated with a team that is going to taint their brand. So if you start doing that, again, you are causing Shabana to lack maybe a sponsor, because who will want to sponsor a team? And those are the sins that we'll be seeing. You will be tainting their brand. So there are so many things other than uprooting. You're causing mayhem, fear, and also vandalism. You know, look at what happened during, is it Gor Mahia's match? They played on closed doors. The fans were not allowed because there was a pitch invasion. What does that mean for the home team in the first place? The teams, the 12th man, the fans, you guys are very important. You need to play your part. And your part is not vandalism and giving maybe the league or the club a bad name. You need to do your part, which is giving the team the morale. So this is something that has been happening elsewhere. Gor Mahia played on closed doors away because of pitch invasion. So we don't want to see such things where maybe Shabana will be banned and told you will play without the fans the next time because of how you guys are behaving. So I want to agree, image is key. And no one wants to put their money in a league that does not have a good image. So let's think about the consequences of our actions before regardless of how angry we are. Yeah. All
right. Now that we have mentioned Ulinzi, we also need to mention the passing on of the Ulinzi Starlets coach, Joseph Manza. It was truly a life dedicated to the sport. Remember, after the injury he got, where he fractured his leg, could no longer play football, he decided to become a coach. And by so doing, he's really helped the girl child and the ladies football in Kenya, and helping Ulinzi Starlets be where they were and challenging for the trophy and winning it severally. I think for everyone, for family, friends, fans, we give our condolences and just strength during these trying moments. How so? Yeah. Why don't you give me your red card?
Well, my red card goes to FKF. The league is becoming boring. We are just back into the league. We are going to have another 2 weeks of a lull. Surely, guys, I don't know how we are running this league. I need somebody to explain to me why we spent 21 days of the league. We played one match. We had a lull for, and I said it here, I think 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Look at the next fixture. It's coming after another 2 weeks. Yes, I know the national team is going for the for AFCON qualifiers. And that will be, I think, 10 days. Why do we have 2 weeks? Is it because we need our team in camp to train early? But as much as we look at the national team, we should also look at the teams that are playing in the league. That inconsistency is bringing a lot of problems. And soon you'll start seeing injuries. Because when players have matches, they stop for another 2 weeks. That level of fitness fluctuates. And when it fluctuates, ultimately it will start bringing injuries. Barry Otieno and the FKF Secretariat, the league has a lot of inconsistency. Guys, we need the league to flow. Even the league in the English Premier League, they're having that recess for FIFA week. But we're not seeing 2 weeks. We're not seeing 3 weeks. Guys, something needs to be done to help the players and even the coaches to prepare them. Because when you prepare a team, then you don't play for another 2 weeks. Surely somebody needs to tell us something. Red card to FKF.
All right. Flo, your parting shot?
Well, my parting shots today, let's talk about our girls who are in Spain. They're under 17. They're preparing for the World Cup. There is a lot that the federation and the stakeholders can do. For example, in terms of exposure, if we do not have the right infrastructure, why not think about sport sponsorship? Look for sponsorship for education in countries, let's say South Africa or elsewhere, and take our girls there. They can play in that league, and it would be nice. Imagine talking about a 17-year-old who is studying maybe in South Africa and has to be called to come and play maybe for the national team. I haven't checked on the dynamics of that, but all I'm saying is that it would be good in terms of exposure if they would go to better schools with better facilities, with better maybe leagues for the young ones. They would get exposed because currently we don't have the right infrastructure. That's just my thought. If we need our girls to improve and to have that right exposure, there are many avenues that we can actually take advantage of. And the one that comes into mind on top of my head is get sports scholarships for our young girls so that by the time they're coming back to even to play for the senior national team, they are well exposed and they've played in better conditions.
All right, thank you, Flo. My punch today goes out to every football fan in this country. There's something I saw Gor Mahia fans doing during their game with Al Ahly. They had a banner that was saying, Whatever happens today, Image will pay for this. See, that was beautiful. That is football banter that we want to see, you know? But what happened with Shabana fans yesterday is not football. That is not football. And that is returning us back to very dark days in this country where people could not take their children to watch matches. You want to go to watch the game maybe with your wife, with your girlfriend, but they tell you, no, Kenyan football, I cannot come to watch because it's not safe for me. And for a very long time, people have been cultivating that culture where we can take our families to come watch the games. I've gone to several games with my children to watch Kenya Police play, and you feel good and you feel safe, and you see children loving football, local football from this age. But once you start bringing back these bad characters of hooliganism in football, trust me, you are going to do so much damage beyond what you think you're doing. But be thinking you're fighting for your team. After all, nothing is going to change. The referee's decision is final in that game. So whatever anger you have, how you want to lash out, just lash out on social media. Make burnt out of it. Speak, but hapo kwa vandalism na kuharibu vitu and making life impossible for other people and encouraging other people to come to the pitch while we are so busy, so much trying to bring back people back to the games. Do you think any sponsor out there looks at the pitches, we were playing on empty pitches, and they say, I want to go sponsor that league? No. But if we manage to bring people back to the pitches and we play our league ikiwa imejaa, of course we will get these sponsors, and small issues that we have of money, teams going unpaid, zitaisha. But that one has to be deliberate. You have to tell yourself, I will be my brother's keeper. If I see someone trying to vandalize a pitch or trying to cause havoc, I will stop them. I will be the first one to stop it. I will not join in and do whatever we saw yesterday. So that is my punch for today. I hope this one encourages you to think positive and think better for the love of the Kenyan game. Because if you went to watch the game, it means you love the game. Now, if you love it, you protect what you love. Protect the game by ensuring such sins are not seen again. All right? Okay, before tuondoke, Manchester United are playing Tottenham. Give me a prediction, Arocho.
Wow, I'm seeing a draw.
Okay.
Both teams are currently not